What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with 420 Gamer TV, bringing you a wish list of Dragon Age 3. Now, I'm calling it right now. The next Dragon Age game they're doing is definitely number 3. Now, the whole Return of the Old Gods, that's just me calling it that, because I think that would be a badass name, considering they've been talking about the Old Gods since number 1. If you've played Dragon Age 1, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And considering Flemeth is one of those old gods, yeah, I can see some cool shit going the fuck on. If you know what I mean. Literally, I can actually see if they do, like, this is my wish list for Dragon Age 3, right? First off, for Dragon Age 3, if they're gonna do it, like I hope they are, then I hope to God they kind of make it to where, like, you know how as you're creating, like I'm doing right now, which is why I'm doing this, is a little bit more in depth. Like, you don't just, okay, yeah, you're a mage, okay, yeah, you're a human, okay, now choose your difficulty. It should be a little bit more than that. If you choose a human, you should be able to choose, maybe maybe a little bit of your background. Maybe you're a street urchin. Maybe you're, maybe you're like from a highborn family. Maybe you're just a common person who, rose up through the ranks of whatever. Something like that. I mean, much like how in Dragon Age 1, when you chose to be a dwarf from Orzammar, you had the choice of either being, one of the lowly street urchins, pretty much, or the Prince of fucking Orzammar. Shit. Something like that. Not just select, done. But I think that would be awesome. Not to mention kind of like being able to like add in somewhat of a background, like maybe okay, like let's say your character's a human, and let's say your character is a warrior, and he left his family to search out for his own destiny. And then, of course, you're apparently not there doing what you're supposed to be doing as a highborn or whatever. But still, it's like, there you go. Now, I also think it'd be a little bit. I think it's. I wouldn't say it's time, but I think it'd be a little bit more badass if they added in another race. And considering the fact that they'd be bringing the old gods back, if that's what they're doing in this one, and I believe so, considering the fact of all the stuff that happened in Inquisition, I believe that's what's happening. They've already resurrected one, and I think the resurrection of that one, well, I can't even say that. Technically, I think there's more than one even alive. Flemeth's one. Morgan's child is Nether. The child that you come across. That you don't really technically see, but you kind of do. And then, also, every single archdemon, okay? The one that, is actually running the Darkspawn and everything, that's technically an old god as well. Just an old god reborn inside of a dragon. Now, old gods apparently can be resurrected. Now, how many of them are there? We don't know. What if there's a technical old god for every single race on Thedas? The humans, the elves, we already know about the elf, Kunari, dwarf. What if there's another race out there that, was far before all of them, and, what if something happened? What if, the supposed, creator, what if, everything that they perceive as in their religion is completely wrong? What if that also happens? What if they find out, their whole religion that it's based off of, I wouldn't say a lie, but misconception. I definitely would say that. Mainly, like, let's say, the woman that they pray. I can't even say pray to. She's pretty much like the Virgin Mary almost to us. Yeah, except more badass and warrior status. But, what if they find out that she literally was the bride of this man, but they were all human at one point in time? What if certain things that they think you know, oh, they created this or oh, they created that. What if that wasn't true? Well, what if, okay, let me rephrase. What if it was true, but to the point to where they weren't gods? Just, beings who had a lot of power, and people, not so smart thought, oh my god, magic. And I mean magic as in, oh, holy crap, they're not normal. Let's go with this one, I guess. But there we go. A little bit more races, and also I think changing up. Adding to the classes, like how they have the mages and all of that. They also have Templar, and then they have the Reaver. And well, what if they kind of change it up a little bit? Make it to where your character is your character. So let's say you want to be a specific type of assassin. You know, you know, but yet you don't want to be wearing like light armor. Maybe you want to be like a heavy armor assassin. So you're like a Reaver assassin. You know what I mean? The more damage you take and deal out, there you go. So you'd be able to be a big dude who has like maybe concealing abilities and being able to do that. What if you're a mage such as this character that I'm creating, and you're able to you're able to you're able to wield swords and shields and all that and imbue magic into them. That would be pretty freaking awesome. Now, of course, that limits to what your abilities would be, but still, I mean, being a spell sword would be pretty fucking badass. You know what I mean? And, or, how about this one? What if you're an archer who can imbue, like, certain kind of effects into your arrows? Meaning, like, you're shooting an ice arrow, or you're shooting a fire arrow, or a lightning arrow, poison arrow, depending on your route. And then adding in, like, let's say, how they have the downpour of arrows. What if they added that with, you have a lightning, magic added to it, boom, and now it's like hail of lightning arrows, and now they're being stunned, who's ever inside that ring. Oh my god, that's a badass combo right fucking there. And that's just an archer. I mean, if they were to do like some kind of crazy like Templar, to where the Templar can use Fade abilities or some shit, so something like that would be pretty fucking pretty epic. A Fade can kind of like switch it up, considering they're gonna have to make shit pretty epic if they are gonna do what I think they're gonna do when it comes to the old gods and everything else. Whoa, whitey. But if they were to do that, I can totally see that working. Especially seeing they've been leading up to the old gods. I mean, for a while now. Since number 1. Number 1, they talked about it. Number 2, they talked about it. Inquisition, oh my god, you actually meet a couple. You've met one, but you weren't entirely sure what Flemeth was. But now you do. Now, the other thing I think would be badass if they were added into the game is all the protagonists that you played as, all the characters that you played as, from 1 all the way to Inquisition, were all characters that you can have as companions. Meaning, like, let's say the story basis is this, let's say your character that you are is Morgan's child. Male or female, of course. And, from there, the 3 are summoned to protect this child from the old gods, because the old gods are returning, and they're returning to kill this child. What if this child were to be the Maker? Holy shit. Because they said the Maker would return, but they didn't say exactly how. What if the Maker returns in the body of the child, and the whole purpose is the child to, grow up? So, like, let's say they kind of do it like Fable status, to the point where as you play, the child, I don't even want to say child, I want to say young man. By this point in time, he should be a young man. Is going off, or young woman, I should say too, is going off and is being guarded by these 3 protectors, and they were the ones that you played as. The Grey Warden from number 1, Hawk from number 2, the Inquisitor from this one. What if those 3 are summoned because all 3 of them have something to do with Flemeth, and all 3 of them are connected to Flemeth? Especially in this one, depending on how you go about it. I mean, if you choose, like, literally to be connected to her, because you can actually do that, then, I mean, literally, that's pretty good. That's going to be pretty freaking awesome. Especially if it turns out that way. And I can see them doing some crazy shit when it comes to something like that. What the fuck? Yeah, he ain't getting no hair. Fuck that. But I mean, I can see something like that happening. Especially seeing the fact that, it's her grandchild, so of course she's gonna protect her grandchild. She ain't gonna let nobody hurt her kid, her grandchild. Oh, fuck no. Mm-hmm. She's protected the Grey Warden, she's protected Hawk, and she's protected this character. So, you know what? I think she would go to the ends of the earth, well, Thetis, to protect her grandchild. Guaranteed.
I just hope I can help.
You leave me no choice.
You leave me no choice.
Everything you've heard? Completely true.
But I think that would be epic if that's what would be the story aspect of it all. It is based around Morgan's child, and Morgan's child would be the Maker. Oh my god, that'd be just sick. And then of course having those three come back in and being able to do exactly what you did in Inquisition, being able to choose what they look like, choose what their class was, whether it be mage, archer, whatever, and then go from there. And actually add in this being able to have a romance maybe with them. Well, change one thing, the Grey Warden, because that's technically the kid's dad. That does not change. Kid's parent always that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be the kid's mom or dad, and always the way they go about it in number one will depend on how it happens in the third one, in Dragon Age 3. So hell yeah, and I can see that happening. To tell you the truth, I can see some badass stuff happening with something like that. His head and ears are fine. Eyes shape. I guess I'll fuck with that. No. Whoa. But I totally can see something like that happen. Now, not only being able to have them as companions, but being able to like romance certain ones, especially like Hawk or something else. If Hawk's a girl, because you know how most people are. Most people are always like when it comes to comments, it's always, oh, any character should be able to romance any character. Okay, whatever. There you go. I mean, some people kind of like the challenge of actually trying to figure out which ones you can and can't romance. But now it's just like, okay, anyone can romance anybody. Whatever. Now, if they do bring back the old gods, and that's what this one's gonna be about, I think that one thing they should definitely do is definitely do flashbacks, because the only way I believe this idea would work is you're definitely, the reincarnated version of the Maker, and the Maker was just technically an extremely powerful being from ancient times, and the Maker ended up being betrayed by certain friends who eventually ended up being banished down in hell, technically, as you would say, at least in our terms. In their terms, it's just pretty much down into fate. That's where they went, and they were there forever. So, what if that's what it's all? I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool, but at the same time, I think they should make it to where each old god has like a specific type of like ability. I mean, okay, like if they're gonna do one and one of them's a dwarf, I think his abilities or her abilities should definitely deal with Earth, considering the fact that dwarves reside underneath mountains and shit. If it's gonna deal with anything else, such as the elves, maybe nature, being able to poison or grow trees or something like that. But of course, you know, that would technically be Flemeth, so it's like a little curious on what the fuck she's capable of. But you know where I'm going about it with this. Especially if they decide to, you know, bring in another race. Because, I mean, what if they bring in Dark Elves or something like that? I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Because what if they do bring in Dark Elves and it's like, oh shit, we never heard of this race before. And, or let's say the Elves have, it's just something they've kept to themselves because they're pretty fucking secretive. You know what I mean? But I do think that would be a pretty good idea. And that's pretty much almost all I got so far for a wish list when it comes to Dragon Age 3. I mean, that'd be pretty cool if they go Dragon Age 3, Return of the Old Gods, or War of the Old Gods, or something to do with the Old Gods. Because there's no way Inquisition is technically number 3. Because it's never said Dragon Age 3 Inquisition. It was just Dragon Age Inquisition. So, you know, I can see the next one being 3. I see this more as like a New Vegas for Dragon Age, if you know what I mean. Because New Vegas wasn't a Fallout 4, it was just Fallout New Vegas. This is just, you know, Dragon Age Inquisition, which was, I would say, definitely one of my favorite ones when it came to, you know, fighting, romances, story, and lots of other stuff. But you can never really beat the original when it comes to a game. Just saying. But I think that would be about it for this video. I mean, I love if they bring back the customization, bring back all the scars, pretty much bring back all the positives that everyone like really had about it. If I were to really have one massive wish list, you know, when it came to this, is it'd be badass if BioWare would actually be able to put like a forum out there that's saying, "Hey guys." I mean, they don't have to officially say we're making it, but like just, you know, hey, we're brainstorming. What do you guys want to see in the next Dragon Age? And then guaranteed, I mean, they'd probably get a lot of stupid ideas, but at the same time, I bet they get a lot of badass ideas too. And if they were all to culminate a good story together, bam! I think that's what a lot of video game companies should do. They should literally listen to their fans. It shouldn't just be what they decide to create, because lots of fans can add some pretty badass ideas to their fucking to some original ideas. But literally, that's it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I had fun making it. I'll probably make another one if I hear any more news about a new Dragon Age, other than the fact that, you know, oh hey, there's whispers. There's a project that BioWare is working on, and the only other project that most people know is this game, and they officially said it's a project they worked on previously before. So, bam. So, keep an eye out. I'll be definitely doing an update video if they end up being any kind of Dragon Age news when it comes to any new games. So, I hope you guys all have a great day, great evening, a great night, all that great shit. You know what I mean. Take it easy, guys. Catch me for my next one. Later.